Welcome to Link's Crafts. For the first craft of this year, I'm making a small village in a cave. I'm starting with a gesso baseboard before marking out where the cave will go and cutting foam to fit. After marking and cutting out the cave, I can start to texture the mountainside. I'll use my knife and some tweezers to add texture. For each layer, I'll use the same method of cutting the foam into a rocky shape. It doesn't have to line up perfectly because I'll fix it later. After cutting the top layer, I can glue everything together. As the glue is drying, I can clean out my workspace to prepare for the next step. Once the glue is somewhat dried, I can begin to add the sculpting mold. I'm mixing in small amounts of water at a time until I get the right consistency. I can then use it to smooth out the mountain and make everything come together. After applying it all to the model, I can carefully set it down before letting it dry. One day later, it's looking pretty good. Now, I'm adding the platforms inside. I'm using balsa wood, cutting it to fit the cave walls before using thin strips to act as supports. On the support beams, I'm cutting the edges to give them a slightly worn look. After everything's been glued in place, I can make the houses, which are made out of XPS foam. Cut to various sizes before being glued together to make the final assembly much easier. After cutting them all out, I can begin to paint. Everything can get covered in a protective mix of Mod Podge and black paint, except for the wood bits, which I'll paint separately. For the houses, I'll use all these paints. And for the mountain, I'll use these. Starting with the houses, which each get several coats of paint. After they've all been painted, I can paint on the windows and doors. Now, moving on to the mountain, I'm starting by painting everything a light pewter gray. I'm then dry brushing on graphite in a neutral gray. I can use these washes along with some dry brushing for the wood bits. I can then add the buildings. Once the mountain's been glued in place, I can add some paths along the houses. Then, I can brush on some watered down glue to add some greenery. And after painting the edges, we're done. Thank you so much for watching. The music in the background was by Scott Buckley, link in the description. If you have any future craft ideas, leave a comment down below. I'm hoping to make some bigger crafts this year, though they may take some extra time to make sure they're just right. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. Until then, see you next time.